On this vote, the yeas are 222, the nays are 209. The bill is passed. The motion is adopted.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. Big news breaking out of Washington, D.C. tonight, where the House of Representatives had a procedural vote earlier in the afternoon, or late afternoon, and then this evening at approximately 2028 Eastern Standard Time, they passed the resolution, 222 in favor, 209 opposed. 6 Democrats crossed the aisle to vote the Republicans. 2 Republicans voted no, 2 non-votes. 222 to 209, passing House Resolution 5371, which advances the bill that they sent to the Senate. The Senate marked up with a few changes. That was passed early in the week. This went to the president's desk. He was scheduled to sign at 9:45 this evening, 21:45. We went live and covered that at about 22:15. He signed the bill into law and gave some remarks before that. So it's now law. The continuing resolution will now allow the government to reopen, and it reopens immediately. This means that all furloughed workers will be able to return to work as soon as practical, most likely tomorrow. It also means that South African refugees who are waiting travel now will be able to advance into the United States. There's a considerable backlog that's piled up over the past 43 days of a Democratic Party shutdown of the government in which they held America hostage and South African refugees hostage and people around the world hostage with their actions, suspending food stamps, barring payment for critical employees who are working and working without pay, and furloughing over 700,000 federal workers now can all return to work. But folks, we're not out of the woods. This is simply a continuing resolution which will allow the government to operate until January 31st. At midnight, the witching hour on February 1st, the government will shut down again unless the Democrats and Republicans come up with either a continuing resolution for the rest of the fiscal year or part of the fiscal year or a budget. It seems unlikely they'll come up with a budget. So like we saw throughout the Biden regime, it'll probably be another continuing resolution. Will the Democrats play hardball again? We shall see. This agreement calls for resumption at current spending levels, as well as 3 provisions allow 3 budget lines to be financed for the rest of the fiscal year, which I believe will be aviation security, Federal Aviation Commission, Department of Agriculture, so food stamps can be paid, and the military. I believe that's the 3 lines. And it promises a vote on the Unaffordable Care Act subsidies that the Biden regime enhanced and that were set to expire this year by the Obama administration. And Nancy Pelosi's vote for the bill, then read it, with a 15-year sunset clause, leaving millions of Americans without health insurance. And prior to that, burdening those of us who pay taxes with billions of dollars of subsidies for other people's health care. They destroyed our health care system, pushing cost up as much as 400 to 600% in many cases. Well, there you have it, folks. The government returns to work. It's long overdue. The Democrats played hardball and kamikaze piloted America almost into oblivion. According to President Trump, this cost our economy $1.4 trillion. I think that's an overestimate, but it did certainly hurt our economy. We'll see where we go from here. All right, folks, the U.S. government is reopened for business. For South Africans interested in the refugee program, this is very good news. But this resolution only takes us January 31st. Keep that in mind. Cheers.